Everyone said it was the weakest pathway. And honestly, the first time you hear about it, you would probably agree. You get faster. You hide in shadows. You can jump off a building and land without breaking your legs. Cool, sure. But compared to some of the other pathways in Lord of Mysteries that are shooting lightning and reshaping reality from Sequence 9 onwards, the Demoness Pathway looks like it showed up to a war with a butter knife. But here's the thing about the Demoness Pathway. It was never in a hurry. This is the only pathway in the entire novel that was designed from the very beginning to become the feminine side of the original creator. Not a god, not a goddess. The feminine face of the first entity that ever existed. The one that was there before everything else. The one that will still be there after everything else is gone. And the road to becoming that begins at Sequence 9 with an assassin who hides in shadows. So let us walk that road together. All 10 sequences, every ability, every cost, and every moment where this pathway reveals exactly what it has been building toward the entire time. Sequence 9, the assassin. Your body changes the moment the potion hits your blood. Not dramatically, not visibly, but you feel it instantly. You are lighter, faster, more precise. Your senses sharpen. Your muscles restructure themselves around one single purpose. Killing, cleanly, without being caught. You can jump from a 10-meter wall and land in silence. Darkness becomes your natural habitat. Your eyes adjust to the night like a predator that was born in it. When a moment comes to strike, every ounce of physical power in your entire body can be compressed into a single explosive release aimed at the most vulnerable point on your target. But the ability is not what matters most at this stage. The acting method is. Never attempt to kill without being completely prepared. No rushing, no improvisation, no gambling. Every move planned, every variable accounted for, every risk examined before it's taken. Most people read that and think it is a safety warning, a leash to stop you from losing control of the potion. It is not. It is the first sentence of a philosophy that this pathway will spend the next 9 sequences finishing. Because everything that comes after, every ability, every transformation, every catastrophic escalation of power, only works if you have already learned to be patient. To wait. To never move until the time is exactly right. The Demoness Pathway was teaching you that from the very first day. Sequence 8. The Instigator. Your body strengthens again. But the real upgrade is the one you cannot see. You begin to sense people. Not their thoughts. Something quieter and more dangerous than thoughts. Their emotions. Their desires. The jealousy they have been carrying for 3 years and never told anyone about. The ambition burning underneath the polite smile. The rage that has nowhere to go. The longing for something they are too ashamed to name out loud. You feel all of it, clearly, like reading text on a page. And then you learn how to use it. The acting method for the Instigator says this. To instigate a group, you only need to find a few initial individuals and ignite the spark in them. Once ignited, those people become agents of instigation themselves. They pull more people in. The effect snowballs. And instigation is not the end. It is a means. The essence of it is understanding the core tension in a situation and the condition of the people involved, not the use of supernatural abilities. Let that sit for a moment. The pathway is explicitly telling you that the abilities are secondary. Understanding people, reading the cracks in a situation, knowing which stone to tap, and when, that is the real skill. The supernatural emotion sensing just makes you better at something a truly brilliant manipulator could already do without any magic at all. The Instigator never raises their voice, never draws a weapon, never appears in any report or witness statement afterwards. They walk into a room, feel everything, say exactly the right thing to exactly the right person, and leave. Whatever happens next happens without them. Sequence 7. The Witch. This is the sequence that changes everything. Not just your abilities. You. The moment you digest the witch potion, your body transforms. If you were male, you're now female. Permanently. Completely. Your appearance becomes naturally, almost aggressively beautiful in a way that does not feel designed or artificial. It simply is. Like it was always supposed to be this way. And the mirror magic opens. You gain your first access to dark magic, black fire, frost spells, the ability to become invisible. And most importantly, you can now create substitutes through mirrors, reflections that can take damage for you, puppets you can send into a fight while you remain invisible and untouched on the other side of the glass. You were already the person who fought through others as an instigator. Now you're the person who fights through reflections as a witch. You are moving further and further from the battlefield and closer to the position of the one pulling strings. But here's what the author confirmed about this sequence. It leaves a strong, distinct imprint in the mirror world. Not just a minor trace. A real, lasting presence on the other side of every mirror you have ever looked into. And that imprint is what makes all the mirror magic possible. Everything from here forward, all the mirror doubles, the mirror kingdoms, the mirror person, the resurrection through reflections, it all starts here. At the moment your reflection became something real. The acting method now asks something genuinely difficult of a male beyonder at this stage. Your body is female. Your appearance is female. The world sees you as female. And you must maintain your male identity through all of it. Not reject the new form. Not be uncomfortable in it. Fully inhabit it. And still remember exactly who you were before. Two truths about yourself held at the same time, without either one canceling the other out. That is the test. And compared to what the pathway asks of you later, This is the warm-up. Sequence 6. The Demoness of Pleasure. At Sequence 6, the charm becomes something you would have to experience to fully believe. It does not just make people find you attractive. It works like an addiction. Someone comes close to you, and something in their brain chemistry shifts. They feel intoxicated, light, like they finally found something they've been missing their whole life. And then they leave, and they want to come back, and then they need to come back. And then the need becomes something closer to what you feel when a substance you depend on starts running low. This works on everyone, regardless of orientation, regardless of how strong their mental defenses are. The charm at this level bypasses the rational mind entirely. It hits something older and more fundamental underneath it. And if that sounds terrifying on its own, your dark magic has also received a real qualitative upgrade. Your black fire and frost spells are significantly stronger. You gain access to supernatural threads, thin strands of energy that can restrain enemies, bind them, cut through them, carry your curses and your black flames directly into whatever they touch. The only weakness is fire. The threads burn. Your mirror double is now durable enough to absorb a killing blow for you and restore your condition afterwards. You can die and not die at the same time as long as the mirror holds. The acting method is the one that sounds simple until you think about it. Indulge in pleasure, but do not fall in love. Desire is a tool. You can use it freely. You can feel it freely. But love is different. Love is the thing that makes you act irrationally for someone else's sake. And an instigator, a witch, a demoness of pleasure cannot afford to be irrational. The moment real love enters the picture, the system starts to crack. The pathway has been building a person who influences everyone and is influenced by no one. Love is the one door that opens from the inside. Keep it closed. Sequence 5. The Demoness of Affliction. At Sequence 5, the Demoness Pathway shows you exactly what kind of weapon it is making. You carry disease now, not as a potion you drink or a spell you cast from your hands. As a presence, as part of what you are. Within 50 meters of you, airborne pathogens begin spreading. The onset is supernatural in its speed. The first 10 seconds are the incubation period. Mild symptoms, itching, a cough, easy to dismiss. And then it escalates, faster than any natural disease has any right to move. Within minutes, what started as a mild irritation becomes a full systemic crisis. And with the wind behind you, the range extends far beyond 50 meters. Your hair becomes a weapon. You can extend it, harden it, drive it through skin, and inject black flames directly into whatever it touches. Contact with your hair causes stiffness in the affected area. You can close distance and deliver a curse through a strand of hair before your target even understands what just happened. And then there is the curse itself. Not a temporary debuff, not a short-term effect, a permanent bending of someone's fate toward misfortune. Their luck does not just run out. It turns against them, persistently, specifically, for as long as they live. The acting method for Sequence 5 is the one that stops most people cold when they read it. Pain is your teacher. You must carry it yourself first before you can bring it to others. To advance beyond this stage, you must experience genuine, extreme suffering. Not simulate it, not describe it theoretically, actually feel it. The pathway requires that you know exactly what you're doing to people before it gives you more of it to do. No other pathway in Lord of Mysteries demands this of its practitioners. The Demoness Pathway is the only one that makes empathy a prerequisite for escalation. That detail tells you something profound about what this pathway actually is. Sequence 4. The Demoness of Despair. You are a demigod now. Partial godhood changes everything qualitatively. Your disease ability expands into something on a scale that has nothing to do with affecting individuals anymore. Your plagues cover up to 3 kilometers. They can sap strength and drain spirituality simultaneously. They can infect the undead, creatures that exist outside biological rules. Things that technically should be immune to disease can still be brought low by what a demoness of despair releases into the air. You can project yourself through mirrors across a city-wide range. Create multiple simultaneous illusions of yourself throughout an entire urban area. Locate any mirror within 5 kilometers, or any mirror you have previously visited, regardless of distance. Your charm now skips past mental defenses that would stop most supernatural influences cold. A glance is enough. The opioid addiction effect that took extended exposure to trigger at Sequence 6 now begins within seconds. And the advancement ritual to reach this sequence is the darkest requirement the pathway has stated so far. To take the Sequence 4 potion, you must involve over 30,000 people in a severe plague. The more that die, the stronger the despair and suffering generated, and the better the ritual effect. 30,000 people, minimum. The pathway is not letting you forget what you are becoming. Every advancement ritual for the Demoness is a mirror held up to show you exactly what kind of power you are accumulating and exactly what price the world pays for it. You wanted to become a demigod. Here's what that costs. Not for you, for them. Sequence 3. The Demoness of Unaging. Now the Demoness becomes genuinely difficult to kill. You stop aging, not slow down. Stop, completely. Your lifespan stretches out into something that has no visible end from where you are standing. And your appearance, already striking at every previous sequence, reaches a level that functions less like beauty and more like a passive environmental effect on everyone around you. But the real change is the mirror person. Every time you have looked into a mirror since becoming a witch, you have been leaving traces of yourself in the mirror world. a reflection that accumulated, a version of you that has been building on the other side of the glass, unseen, for however long you have been advancing through this pathway. That is your mirror person. To advance to sequence 3, you have to deal with them. Either dominate them entirely through your own power, make them genuinely infatuated with you, or fully reconcile with them. There is no shortcut and there is no skipping it. Because if you take the sequence 3 potion before handling your mirror person, your body begins to petrify as your spirit wanders toward the mirror self, and the mirror person resists you. Your strength is limited to a fraction of what it should be while you're stuck in that dangerous in-between state. But if you succeed, even if your physical body is destroyed, even if every known mirror duplicate is killed, as long as a single hidden mirror exists with your sleeping mirror person inside it, you can revive. The self in the mirror and the self outside are both fully you. You cannot be permanently killed through conventional means. To end you, someone would have to find and destroy every hidden mirror you have ever placed anywhere. Your petrification ability expands dramatically. It is no longer limited to your hair. You can slowly petrify your surroundings, spreading a plague-like zone that turns anything it touches to stone. In your full Gorgon form, your hair becomes entirely composed of serpents. Each serpent has its own eyes. Anything the serpents see is petrified instantly. Your plague range extends to 10 kilometers. The acting method is the one that sounds simple and is actually the hardest of all. Maintain an unaging mentality over the erosion of time. Over hundreds of years, over thousands of years. Your body will not age, but your mind can. Bitterness, cynicism, the quiet exhaustion of watching everyone you knew die while you continue. The weight of centuries pressing down on thoughts that were never designed to carry that much time. The rule demands you stay mentally young, curious, present, alive in your thinking across however many lifetimes your body carries you through. Staying young forever in your body is easy. The potion does that for you. Staying young in your mind across 1,000 years is the actual test. Sequence 2, the Demoness of Catastrophe. You are an angel now, and the scope of your power is no longer about affecting people. It is about affecting the world. Earthquakes, floods, blizzards, tsunamis, meteor strikes. You can bring these into existence through intent, not by physically doing anything, by willing the disaster into the situation and letting the physics of the world execute it. But this authority goes beyond natural disasters. You can look at any system, any structure, any beyonder, any construct, and identify its hidden internal tensions. The cracks that have been quietly widening for years. The instabilities that have not broken yet, but will. And you can trigger them, not from the outside, from the inside. You make the thing collapse through its own internal failure. You find the hidden fault and tap it, and then the system destroys itself as if it was always going to. You can curse objects, leave behind words. Anyone who touches what you leave or hears what you say experiences a series of cascading catastrophes in their subsequent life. You do not have to be anywhere near them when it happens. The curse travels with the object. The disaster follows the target wherever they go. The advancement ritual for Sequence 2 asks for something that staggers the imagination. As a participant, cause a disaster affecting the entire continent, and advance during the disaster. Not a city, not a country, a continent. And you must be standing inside the event you created when you drink the Sequence 1 potion. The pathway is asking you to become the thing you can cause, to be present at the center of continent-scale destruction and let it carry you forward. Sequence 1, the Demoness of Apocalypse. There is a precise distinction the pathway draws at this level that matters enormously. Catastrophe and apocalypse are not the same authority. Catastrophe is about the different forms and manifestations of disaster, how it arrives, what shape it takes. Apocalypse is about the result of disaster, the arrival of chaos, the aftermath that cannot be undone. Frost is a manifestation of catastrophe. Black Flame is a manifestation of chaos itself. At Sequence 1, you hold an incomplete divine kingdom called the Realm of 1,000 Faces, built from countless shattered mirror fragments, each one reflecting a disaster from a different time and a different world. Walk through it, and you are surrounded by every ending that has ever happened or will ever happen in every reality the mirrors have ever captured. This is not just a territory you own. It is a declaration, a demonstration of what you are. The advancement conditions to become Sequence 0 are some of the most specific and poetic requirements in the entire novel. Advance at the universally acknowledged end of an epoch or the beginning of the next one. Or advance during the signs and process of the apocalypse arriving. Or advance when your own involvement leads directly to the fall of a deity. Every path to Sequence 0 requires you to be standing at the edge of an ending. And then there is the ritual itself. Descend into the depths. Find the Chaos Sea. Enter it. Endure its corruption. And maintain yourself throughout. Neither falling into what it wants to make you, nor transforming into something it wants you to become. The Chaos Sea is the primordial void that exists before everything and after everything. Its corruption does not poison you like a toxin you can resist with willpower. It reaches into what you are at the most fundamental level and tries to rewrite it. You have to stand inside that. Let it try. And refuse. If you can do that, something impossible happens. You come out the other side. Sequence 0, the Primordial Demoness, also called the Chaos Demoness. Her authorities are return of all things to chaos, femininity, charm, mirror world, and dark magic. The The primordial authority she holds represents stillness, stagnation, and omnipotence. The stillness and stagnation of primordium incline toward a state where time itself ceases to exist around her. Omnipotence here refers to all forms of dark magic, direct contact with chaos, and the ability to invoke the chaos sea itself as a weapon. She is the absolute sovereign of dark magic. Any spell that falls within the domains of darkness, curse, depravity, or evil will either fail completely against her or be absorbed and turned to her advantage. She does not have a counter for dark magic. She is what dark magic originates from. She cannot be destroyed through conventional means, because she is not separate from the mirror world. She is equivalent to it. The mirror world does not serve her. She is the mirror world. To kill the primordial Demoness, you would have to destroy every single mirror world that exists simultaneously, which is the same as saying she cannot be killed by anything that exists inside the world she is part of. Her beauty at this level has passed through the physical and become conceptual. She is not the most beautiful person in the room. She is the concept of beauty itself, and reality bends around her not because it is intimidated by her, but because the rules of the world simply were not written to contain something that was there before the rules existed. Now here is the most haunting detail about the primordial Demoness. The ingredient required to become her includes this: one portion of genuine love originating from oneself. But it cannot be real love as it naturally exists. It must be transformed into something between real and illusory before it can be used. She has to feel real love. Actually feel it, not perform it, not simulate it, genuinely feel it. And then she has to hollow it out. Transform it into something that is almost love, but not quite. Something that exists in the space between real and not real. Think about that for a moment. The most powerful being on the Demoness Pathway, the one who can end worlds with a thought, the source of all catastrophe, the feminine face of the original creator, the entity whose death requires destroying every mirror that exists, cannot hold genuine love. Not because she is incapable of feeling it, but because love that is real is too honest, too specific, too oriented toward one particular person, to coexist with being the concept of chaos itself. So she gives it up, but she cannot give it up entirely. She needs it as an ingredient, so she keeps a version of it. A hollowed out, almost love, real enough to use, not real enough to make her human. That is the final cost of the Demoness Pathway. Not your gender, not your freedom from emotion, not your sanity in the chaos sea. Those are the earlier costs. The final cost is the realness of love itself. So here's what the Demoness Pathway actually is. It is not a combat pathway that happened to have some charm abilities attached to it. It is a pathway specifically designed to produce a being that represents the feminine side of the thing that created everything. Every sequence is a step in that direction. Every acting method is preparing your mind for what the next step requires. Every ritual is making sure you understand the weight of what you are accumulating. At sequence 9, you are patient and precise. At sequence 8, you understand people better than they understand themselves. At sequence 7, you can hold two truths about yourself simultaneously. At sequence 6, you learn to use desire without being controlled by it. At sequence 5, you learn what you're doing to others by first doing it to yourself. At sequence 4, you cross into godhood and confront what that power costs the world. At sequence 3, you make peace with your reflection and earn the right to live forever. At sequence 2, you become the disaster itself rather than a person who causes them. At sequence 1, you stand at the edge of apocalypse and let it carry you forward. And at sequence 0, you give up the last real thing you're holding on to. Every other pathway in Lord of Mysteries walks toward power. The Demoness walks toward the void that was there before power existed. And when you finally see her standing in the mirror, when her reflection looks back at you through the glass, remember this. She was already there before you started looking. She has always been patient. From the very first acting method, from the very first rule she was ever given. She never forgot it, and she never stopped waiting.